got battered. I'll be honest. It ended 4-4. He should have lost that game. Riptorek threw a couple of chances away.
6.7 XG to 1.3, was it?
17 shots to 4. It was one-way traffic completely, and you could argue, despite Nicholas playing that bad, he's still got a point. That's the thing. Whenever he's playing at a lower level, his floor is still good enough to beat some people's ceilings in this game. That's how high his skill level is. So I still back him to qualify through the group, but he has to overcome Levi Finn and Ketadilo later on in this group stage.
Well, we are underway. It's going Nicholas from right to left in that severe strip. There's been an early goal between Encante and Nacho Abella, and it's fallen the Parisians' way. 1-0 after 3 minutes, and Levi Finn will be kicking from left to right in that RB Leipzig kit. Pirlo, early chance, couple of step overs, looking to cut back. With Gvardiol eyeing up, that's really nice. Step over cancel, and then just couldn't quite squeeze it through the gap.
Maybe a little bit too much. It wasn't decisive enough. It sort of was hesitating around the area with the skill moves, but if he went for goal there, I think with the goalkeeper movement, it could have fallen in his favour.
That's exactly what Levi David and Gravison were talking about Levi Finn earlier. Just saying he overplayed it a little bit too much in the final third.
Yep, I think that moment was clearly overplayed, but for Nicholas, obviously has to win both games. You could argue on paper, and this is not to discredit the two oppositions he lost to in Brancha and Riptorek, or drop points to, I should say. Those were the games you'd expect.
You have to win.
100% he has to win, because Ketadilo and Levi Finn for me are at higher levels than that. And here's Nicholas, here we go. Green time, great save from Donnarumma to prevent him scoring early on in this game.
We will be keeping our eyes peeled on that secondary match as well here on the main stage between Serron and Umut. Umut, after a really disappointing loss to Nacho Abella, 86th minute winner for the Spaniard. But we're looking to bounce back. Two greats on the stage, needing wins in Umut and Nicholas. The Argentine a little bit more desperate for 3 points on the board. Here's Stoikov firing his shot off Nicholas Soulé, and Levi Finn has the time to clear. A penalty given against Serron. It's Gvardiol going into the book. And Umut slaps it in the bottom left corner. Back on board with our featured game. Live action here for you. R9 in the box. Maybe should have gone across the keeper.
Could have. He's got a corner though. These are effective this year in FC24. Selecting Drogba.
If the delivery is right, it's a guaranteed goal. The delivery is right, but company just an inch too high for Didier Drogba and clears. That's the live table as it stands right now. Riptorek, top of the table.
Oh my.
7 points for the pole. Ketadilo on 6, Levi Finn on 4, Brancha and Nicholas coming up the rear. That's a really that's a howler. It's a howler from Levi Finn.
Oh, it's a big mistake. I think he tried to intercept and get it back to the goalkeeper. Didn't put enough power in it. Was reaching anyway to even. It's very ambitious to even try and get that back to the goalkeeper there. Oh yeah, with
got clear lines.
It's a difficult one. Maybe you could say try and bring it down, but then yeah, it's hindsight. It's easy to say from where we are, but it's a chance capitalised on from Nicholas.
And look, sometimes when you're not playing well, you just need a little slice of luck. You need a little bit of fortune, and that is how that tables is starting to take shape right now.
Shows how close this group is, because all it is.
Ketadilo and Riptorek, by the way, that's 1-0 Riptorek.
Yep.
Right now. The other match that's taking place, Encante and Nacho Abella. Nacho Abella did get one back, so 1-1. They're the 4 games that are taking place right now, Ryan. Umut still leading 1-0 versus Serron. I have a lot of fun saying that name. Nice link-up play on this right-hand side from Levi Finn. He's had a lot of exposure down this side so far. It's where a lot of his chances have come from. Through João Cancelo, linking into Mbappe and then trying to offload that pass to R9. A lovely piercing ball from Toni Kroos, but Jude Bellingham just steals it off Mbappe's toes.
What's your thoughts on the inclusion of Jude Bellingham starting in the team? It's not been a common theme. We've obviously seen a lot of players use an icon midfielder, whether it's partnered with Toni Kroos +1, maybe a Pedri or somebody else. Jude Bellingham hasn't been a favoured choice, but when it comes to Nicholas, we know that he doesn't always opt with the player that everyone goes for.
Yeah, I mean, you can see Stoikov leading the line.
Yeah.
I think it's an interesting choice. He's obviously had a lot of use with Jude Bellingham this season in the La Liga FC Pro as well. So he'll be very familiar with his game. Didier Drogba hits the upright. That could have been 2-0 to the Iceman.
It's great play there, trying to find space. The high pressing again from Nicholas. Whips ball in.
Oh
my goodness, he's got there.
Pass. That's why Jude Bellingham's in the team, Ryan.
Oh my goodness, what a ball that is from Nicholas. Reverse, he wasn't even looking towards goal, just lofted pass instantly over the defensive line here. It's perfect. Drogba gets there ahead of the goalkeeper. 2 goals to the good, that's fantastic.
And I don't know if you saw that, if you get to see it one more time, the intercept plus from Jude Bellingham.
Yeah.
Stealing the ball back in the middle of the pitch, turning it over quickly. Just teased Drogba, teased the keeper off his line as well. But yeah, Ivory Coast striker who has been prevalent across this entire E-Champions League, and I'm sure he will be going into the knockouts and the finals once again. Dominant in the air to put Nicholas 2-0 up in a must-win game after he only got 1 point from his opening 6. R9, Levy Finn trying to get something back.
It was actually well defended there from Nicholas. Didn't select the defender, decided to use Jude Bellingham and run back to try and cut the lane. Obviously, as you mentioned, intercept pass or intercept plus play style could have came into effect if the pass was played.
Just hoisted up towards Drogba. He's got the pace and the aerial ability to really do anything he wants, I'll be honest, in the middle of the attacking line. Could be a counter, Gvardiol high up, but Levy Finn not really going too direct. Now he fires it with the driven pass into Mbappe's feet. Cancelo having to recycle. Toni Kroos waiting, holding the space. Has been a goal for Umut. We talked about the rebound, how he's going to fire back into this league format where you have to finish in the top 3, and he's doing just that. Yep,
that just signifies how good Umut is winning a game. This is as it stands, still in the second. Ball into Drogba, and that's a goal back from Levy Finn. Easy as that, Richard.
Looks really simple, doesn't it, when it's like that? Ball out wide, whipped in.
Whip it in, here we go.
Pirlo with the cross. Drogba wins the header. Didn't have to be green.
Let's get on target, that's it.
If we just have another quick look at that as it stands table from the group with Umut and Nacho Abella.
So close.
Because I saw a lot of 6 points.
3 points
there
as well.
You go,
yep.
6, 6, 6, 3, 3. And Kante on 6 points right now. And that is because he is leading against Nacho Abella. 2 goals to 1.
Game.
Mark Marley obviously sitting out this round. If results go his way and a couple of draws come through,
keeps him in the conversation.
Yeah, absolutely. I think for him, the best case scenario is all 4 draws.
Yeah, literally, because he's got his last game up against
he's playing
Nacho Abella in the last game, yeah.
Win that game, you go through. Hopefully, if you are Mark Marley. Levy Finn getting 1 back in this tie. It was 2-0 for 10-15 minutes, and Levy Finn didn't really have too much to go for. That is the as it stands table right now. We talked about Nicholas being a must-win game. Levy Finn also in a similar situation.
Yeah.
A win is imperative. It puts him high up the table, puts him onto 6 points, and you go into that last game then thinking, yes, I would need to get points on the board, but also results can go my way.
Yep, exactly. His last game will be against Branch, as you saw, and the table as it stood, it would be the player in bottom. But Branch technically still...
It's got a chance.
It's got a chance. I know the goal difference doesn't favour him, but you never know. Anything could happen as Levy Finn pushes forward.
This group's been crazy. I mean, compared it to yesterday as well, a fair few of them out of the groups going into the last round, we're already wrapped up.
Yeah.
I don't think that's going to be the case today. We're going to be going into this final round of fixtures with everything still on the line.
Everyone's taking points from everyone. I think the only cert we've seen is Manu Bashir.
Manu Bashir just flying through.
Flowing through, 4 out of 4. 12 points on the board, done his job, first place secured. The ball over the top for Pedro. He's not going to play it. Driven pass in.
Mbappe with the heavy touch. Donnarumma rushing off his line, just getting a claw on the ball. Nothing else. Nacho Abella getting one back. That's 2-2 the score right now, and every single goal, how it affects a result, affects the table as well. Encante has to win, really.
Yep, he really does. It's a must-win game for him, just to make sure he gives himself a huge chance to try and get through. But he's up against Nacho Abella. Never say that attitude again. He's somebody that you could never rule out despite any scoreline.
It's been a really, really tantalising game, this one. Pirlo down the byline into Gvardiol. Stoichkov with the first-time strike, but the fullback was just offside. Levy Finn with one final chance before the half, not to be. I think we will be going into half-time with Nicola.
Emphasise on what both you and Gravison are saying. It's mistakes that we never usually associate with Nicholas in build-up play and defensively as well. He's normally somebody that, even there, just switching the play,
yep.
it just feels as if he's just not his usual self. And it's crazy because I saw him a few weeks ago running riot in Spain, winning the Cup and the League, and it just seems so dominant.
Could be a chance here for Levy Finn off that Nicholas mistake, switching the play and giving the possession back. Recycling on the edge of the box. Toni Kroos, he's dangerous in these areas, and his link-up play is imperative. That's a little bit of a fumble, and he's gone down to ground, and the referee's given a penalty.
I mean,
it looked harsh.
I don't agree with it personally, but it was a great reverse elastico. Good dead stop, good finish.
Big
Sends keeper
goal.
the wrong way. Massive goal.
2-2.
Massive goal.
We've got Stingray in the commentary position, so very similar to what I did with Levy earlier today. If you've got any questions for a former E-League champion.
Thank you.
Played in this competition as well.
Yeah.
In the previous years gone by as well. What would you say your experience is? Do you think it just amplifies like the nerves coming into a tournament like this, or do you just sort of treat it as any other?
I mean, for me and many other professionals, it's the biggest tournament of the year bar the World Championship.
Yeah.
Everyone loves playing the E-Champions League. It's one of the most gutting things to miss out on. Last year when I competed, it was unbelievable with all the experience. Oh, that's a big goal.
Serron.
That is a big goal for Serron.
Serron's trying to mix this group up. If Serron gets something out of this game versus Umut, there is huge implications, and Levy Finn has just got... And then you're fighting for that fourth spot. Umut wants to leave nothing to goal difference or tiebreakers. He's got one back against Serron, and that's a devastated look. After you fight so hard to get back into it, your opponent just goes up the other end and scores straight away.
Yep, exactly. And the goalkeeper movement there sort of made Umut's mind. We have to speak about goalkeeper movement, Stingray, in terms of advice. Is there anything you would give? Because I always say just not to... Obviously, you have to kind of commit to a side, but moving backwards is a good thing as well.
So, you know what, Ryan, just for you, I'm going to give a few special tips that I don't really give out.
You're the goalkeeper movement specialist. I've seen you in the past. We played against each other. I would say it's one of your best attributes.
You know, whenever I play games, someone call me Spider-Man in that, but but I feel like when you're through on goal or when you're in the box, and when your opponent's through on goal, sorry, you've got to kind of predict what foot he's going to shoot. If you expect him to shoot with the right foot and he's more in the centre of the box, he's not really got the angle to go near. It's all about mind games, first of all.
Yeah.
But it's also about using what foot your opponent's shooting on, and just trying to block the shot, really.
Question here coming in from Ben Martin. How do you prefer for this tournament as a coach rather than a player? We'll get your answer from Ben's question just after this chance comes in for Levy Finn, because he's twisting and turning and forces a corner. It's going to be delivered into the box. You know how dangerous set plays are. Drogba pulled to the near post. It's in the box, and Drogba wins the flick on, but Donnarumma gets it. Back to Ben's question. How do you prefer, rather than a coach, than a player?
So, as a coach, you want to, of course, first of all, know what group your player's in. You want to know who they're playing against. You want to see what patterns they have. So, for example, against Manu, we know he's very, very good at going down the line and cutting it back, and then a quick pass into the attackers or a quick pass into the midfielders. And that little sequence, he's one of the best in the world at, which is obviously why he's a world champion. And you try and stop that as much as you can. You try and learn as much about your opponent as possible, defensively as well. How are we going to get past him? How are we going to stop his attacks?
Chance here for Levy Finn. Nicholas has got to do a better job at stopping his attacks right now. R9 into Pirlo, green time. It bounces up into Donnarumma's hands quite thankfully if you're a Nicholas fan right now.
Coaching Fuma, Stinger, obviously still in this competition, is he somebody that likes to be, I call it micromanaging, like in the game he wants to be spoken to, what is he doing wrong, or is he somebody that just sort of goes with the flow and you tell him, hold on a second, good step over from Nicholas.
What a tackle.
I think with Fuma, he's very. The reason why I love coaching him, he's he's both. He can be micromanaged or he want to be left alone. And that, for me, is signs of a good player. He knows when he's not playing the best and when he can pick stuff up. But he also knows when, let me deal with it. I know what to do. I know how I'm playing.
Yeah.
Big goal here back in this group. It's Riptorek.
Oh.
Retimed volley from Didier Drogba. 3-3 that game right now, and that is what happens to the table. Nicholas has to get something out of this game as it stands.
Be out.
He would be eliminated if he loses this game, with Riptorek getting a point versus Curta Dailo. Dinked over the top. Bellingham wins the header. Mbappe trying to flick it down, but Toni Kroos in the way. I think what's happened in this particular group, you've had obviously players not performing well, but also you look at Riptorek, probably weren't the first name on the sheet when you thought about this group. Umut getting a fourth against Serron. That is Drogba going through on goal and slamming it home.
I think when you look at the group and you see Brancher and Riptorek, no offence to them, they're unbelievable players in their own right. But you see Nico, right?
Yeah.
And you see Nico and you
It's
expect...
just expected.
It's just, it's an expectation you bring when you're one of the best of all time. And credit to them.
He's onside. Mbappe! Ron and Umut both taking off their headsets as well right now. That's going to be a full-time result.
Yep, running right in that game.
Nicholas needs to... He has to win, really.
It's a must-win.
Stoikov looking to find Mbappe.
I think a draw does him a favour just because Riptorek drew, but it's still... It's not entirely in his hands.
You'd be
Levy
three
Finn
back.
stepping over. Look at the space.
3 back
Mbappe.
with points needed to go your way and goal difference as well. I just think it's too little too late. A 5th goal from Levy Finn would send Nicholas packing.
If you're Levy Finn, Rich, how do you go about seeing this game out?
I think you could probably smell blood in the water. You know he's got to go for it. You could probably see this ending 5 or 6-2.
I think it's too early to try and keep the ball. I'd go
Mbappe,
again. Go
there
again.
you go.
There we go. Done.
That's it.
Wow. The Iceman was
Melting.
looking to be...
He's melting in the bright lights in London right now.
I like that one. That's good from you, Rich, to be fair.
Levy Finn,
It's a great ball across.
Yeah.
it's a good goal.
I
I think that's a realisation that I'm in a good position now.
And even if he wasn't, this sort of momentum after beating someone like Nicholas, you only can take it in your stride, and you can only get better and better.
Absolutely.
It's Levy Finn on 6 points. I think that puts him second, just behind Ketadalo on 7.
It would eliminate Nicholas.
Yep, done. We'll put him out of the competition. That would be, for me...
It's a shock. Is that a bigger shock than Tex going out?
Based on form, and obviously Nicholas has won this competition before, I would say yes, just based on that, but...
It still leaves Brancher with a chance.
Yep.
Riptorek in a good position, Levy Finn in a great position, and Curta Dailo.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Is in.
Oh, sensational stuff from Levy.
Levy Finn, that smile comes across his face.
He's cooking.
I said it'd go 5 or 6. Very rarely do you see someone come back. A lot of the time, you press, the ball goes in behind, and these scorelines look a lot worse than the actual game was.
Yeah. We mustn't forget, was Nico 2 goals up? Or, I know he was winning at some point, but for Levy Finn to come back against someone...
It was 2-0, and then it went 2-1, and then he's scored 5 in a row.
So for Levy Finn to break down someone as resolute as Nicholas 6 times?
Without response as well.
Maybe Levy Finn were listening to Graveson's analysis at half-time. Took it on board.
I mean, it's all but confirmed.
Just your opinion on this. Same question that I asked to Ryan. What's the bigger shock, Nicholas getting grouped or Tex getting grouped?
I think, I don't want to copy Ryan here, but I think for the exact same reasons. You know, he's won the cup, he won the league in Spain, and in quite dominating fashion.
Yeah.
But in quite dominating fashion, he's won both tournaments in Spain. He's obviously won this event before, and you have that sort of, not that you don't with Tex, but you have that expectation that he's going to solidify himself through top of the group. Done.
Just looking at the fixtures, Ryan,
Yeah.
for that last round, he could still impact
Yeah,
he could still have an impact on the group.
Yeah, absolutely. He plays Ketadalo in his last game, albeit the tournament being done mathematically for Nicholas to advance through the group
But
stage.
who's going to finish top?
Ketadalo,
If
exactly.
he beats him, someone, Levi Finn wins your game.
Ketadalo or Levi Finn can still finish number 1 in that game. Levi Finn up against Brancher next, but it's a huge victory.
What an incredible performance. What an incredible, incredible performance. A lot of the time in FC, when you watch over the years, we talk about players and they don't have